Alright, what is going on everyone? Crypto Mac here, bringing us another crypto video today. We're going to take a look at Casper or CasperLabs. Pretty exciting. You can see straight away that it's been performing really well the past few weeks and the past 24 hours especially. Just want to say this video is not financial advice, so please do your own research. Straight away looking at Casper, we can see we were in this big symmetrical triangle we talked about for a long time. Ever since I started the channel, we broke up and we hit our target after getting some confirmation of the breakout, which led to a symmetrical triangle. Broke out of that, hit our target, and eventually this level here, you can see right at this point we hit our target, which is really nice. Then what did we do? We came down a little bit and we've gone again. So from the bottom, it's actually quite a big move. We'll take it from the breakout. It's a really solid 81% move, which is nice to see. So basically, as far as technical analysis goes, we kind of hit a stopping point. In a way, right? We kind of hit a point because Casper, when it got released, just went on a massive downtrend. We can see it went as high as about $1.30 realistically. It went higher, but that was because the coins hadn't been really listed properly. So it was about $1.30, and then it went a steady decline. We saw a little bit of a pump here from that we're at currently up to 53 cents, and then a steady decline. Because it happened to get released at around the time that Bitcoin and the whole market decided to dump, coincidentally, which was not ideal. Basically, we just broke our local high. So we have not put in a high out here of 23 cents. This was back in August. And we just put in a new high from here, which is really, really, really good to see. Because now we can look forward. What I want to do quickly is take a look at the Casper Bitcoin chart. We can see in the Casper Bitcoin chart, Casper's performing really well, outperforming Bitcoin very, very well. And we can see this because Casper pumped today, and Bitcoin pumped more so yesterday, and today it went down, and Casper's gone up today. But what we can look at is there's somewhat bull flags which are forming in the Casper charts. So this is what we had drawn on our previous video. We speculated. Mind you, the price was here. The price was here. I'll show the video in a second. This is where we were last video. And I said, hey, we might get into this sideways moving channel. There's descending wedge. Complete guess. There wasn't that far off at all. It was a lot shorter than we anticipated. I just drew the line for fun, just in case our high was right. But what we can see is that it played out perfectly. Right? We take this and put this up there. We'll put this back here. Right? It hit our target. Right there, perfectly. So another bull flag played out. So what we could say is that, well, I can speculate again that we'll see another top. Let me change this. We'll see another top here, followed by a descending wedge. That's our next guess. So we can go 1, 2, 3, and now a fourth play out. And if this does play out, well, we might see it happen again. Where Casper goes like this. And in 4 days' time, we can see ourselves at this level, even higher. Just speculation for the moment. But I'll play the video. This is the video. This was, I think, 2 days ago. You can see where we're at, price-wise, and what I've predicted. We can see on the Casper versus Bitcoin chart. We can see a bull flag form, another bull flag form, and they're not the prettiest bull flags, not gonna lie, but I feel like they're valid. So a line followed by a descending wedge, and then a breakout, another descending wedge, and then another one. And we're currently coming down. So should history repeat itself, we'd see something maybe like this play out. At the top, at the bottom, and we might move sideways for a bit and move up. What this is indicating is that, or suggesting is that Casper's been performing well against Bitcoin. And if this continues, this run continues, well, it's going to continue to do well. So we can see, look at this, I just said, we've seen a bull flag play out twice. Why not be a third? Why not be a third one there? And the third one played out perfectly. Hit our target. And now, well, if there's been 3, why not be a fourth? And eventually this pattern will probably come to an end, as all things usually do. But at the moment, we're just seeing this pattern, this continuation of the bull flag. And it looks really good. So yeah, my next sort of hypothesis, speculation, it is just dubious speculation, but it seems to be the play for Casper, right? Pumps, consolidates, pumps, consolidates, pumps, consolidates. And we're seeing that right now as Casper's come down. So obviously for Casper, breaking this local high, there's obviously going to be resistance there. So we broke through and come down, which makes sense. It's about expected from hitting that high. And also Bitcoin has been coming down, but Casper has been kind of performing on its own. It hasn't really followed Bitcoin's trends too much. So what we can do is, if we want to look forward into the future, what we can do is take a Fibonacci from here. From this high to this low. And say, okay, we've broken this local high. Our next target at 1.618 up here is 32 cents. Okay, that's our next target, 32 cents. So we'll draw a line. Let's draw some lines. 32 cents. Then we have here at 48 cents. Next target, 64 cents. I'm just doing long-term speculation here of what we could see play out. And then the highest one, 74 cents. That's our targets. And I guess you could take one from here if you wanted. You could also draw a Fibonacci from there to the bottom, which the bottom was down here. And you can see where we almost hit this line here, our first line, and you can see the levels here. Obviously a lot higher, and it has a height of $1.37, which is pretty high, very high. You know, we're trading at 20 cents, and it's been doing really well. So $30 is pretty high. So these are our targets. I think if you look at percentage gains, 42%, 115%, 180, 220% move to 74 cents. How realistic are these? Well, I guess you got to consider how long will the bull market go for. If the bull market ends and we have a big correction, 60-70%, well, this won't play out. Casper will come down. I would say the lows down here, right, as I saw before. I think that's probably guaranteed to happen, to be honest. But if the bull run continues and we move forward, well, we have another look. A 220% move is not unachievable, especially when people are talking about, we're talking about a Bitcoin price of 100,000 or 150,000. Well, that's 150,000 is a 2.5x, and so we could easily see Casper as an altcoin do a 2.5x and get to this level. Obviously, this first target's the main one, right? 32 cents. If we can get to there, that'd be nice. And then the next thing we're looking at is this high here. They're probably going to be some resistance at that level. So we can say in this period, in this sort of section, we would expect it to be a little tough. Some resistance in there. Between those two lines, we would see some resistance. But as for the Casper Bitcoin chart, it's looking really solid. I think it's indicating that Casper is just outperforming Bitcoin, you know, pretty tremendously. And if this continues, well then Casper, it proves it, or indicates that Casper is a better hold than Bitcoin. If we do look at the Bitcoin chart, we can see we had a nice push lately. A really nice run. I think Bitcoin's actually looking really solid right now. We're getting some support of our orange line here, which is nice to see. Even though we broke through, so it kind of becomes somewhat irrelevant. We're on the logarithmic chart as well, because we got support of this orange line that moves across here. So the support here. The other thing to look at with Bitcoin, which I think is really good, especially for the short term. So Bitcoin was in this falling wedge, this descending wedge, and we broke out. Let's go for log scale. So this is on the non-log, just a linear scale. We broke out, and we've come back down, which is about expected. I said this in the last, I don't know what video it was. I think it was one of my last videos, or last two videos. I said we'd most likely break out and come back down and test the line as support. If we could just break back through and then we didn't really achieve anything. But if this acts as support and we see something happen like this, we've already touched the line. So we've seen that level of support. So now if we just move up, well, that confirms our support level. And if we do a move like this, well then all of a sudden we're really going to be talking about this $67, $68,000 target for Bitcoin. right? And from here to 20% move, 20% move. This will just give Casper like a massive push. Might just refresh my page, it's gone weird. This will give Casper a massive push. And then we could see us hit these levels that I've already drawn out. So I'd say 32 cents is my next big target. We get to that range. Between that and 36 cents, I'm expecting to get a bit of a pullback from that. Bit of a pullback. And then, look, I can see Casper, if the bull market goes for another 3 months, 6 months, I can see Casper getting as high as in this range, 73 cents to 63 cents. I can see it happening. I could definitely see Casper getting in that range. For another 3 to 6 months, that's a 220% move. And we can see Bitcoin do a 100% move in that time. And if Bitcoin does 100%, well, usually altcoins will do higher amounts. The last thing I want to look at is, in terms of technical analysis, is what we've seen effectively is a big cut. Right, what color should I do? Let's just do blue. Might just make it thicker so you can see a bit better. So you can see there's a big cup. What could follow this would be a handle. Maybe something like that. So we could be seeing a pullback right now. We've had this high. We've reached it. There's obviously going to be some resistance. It's likely we may see a pullback and something like this. Which I'm looking at this pullback lasting until January, what I've drawn here. Now it could be a lot smaller than that. It could be a 2-week pullback. I don't think it'll be less than about 2 weeks, right? This could be something that we see as a little pullback. It could be smaller. And if it's smaller of a pullback, something like this, like it could be, I'll draw. We could see something really small, but it still could be of importance. You know, we can see something similar to that. And now we're talking to 2-3 weeks. And then we go. And the price target would be really high on this. We take it from the bottom down here, actually, to the top. Change the color. And draw this line across. It's a bit wonky because of that. We can draw it down. I'm happy to do that. Draw it like that. Oh, the problem is we're in the logarithmic scale. Hang on. That makes it better. And then let's do the breakout. The breakout's here. Well, this will get us into this range and maybe past it. If that's to happen, we can see, we get some technical analysis and showing us that this target's in range, and we could just push through it and fly through it and go higher. So we could break through, or we could find ourselves in this range. So we could get to there, and then once we're in there, you know, move sideways for a bit. In this level. Move sideways for a bit, and then our next targets, obviously. As I said, 48 cents, 64 cents, and 73. Another thing, it is just speculation. I can't say for certain any of this is going to happen. It's just I'm looking at probability, I'm looking at technical analysis, I'm looking at what the charts are doing, how Bitcoin performs. A lot of this is going to be dependent. Like if Bitcoin pumps to 60k tomorrow, well, Casper might just go, alright, like I'm off. And he goes up here. And then it's like, alright, well, this cup and handle is not going to happen. But yeah, let me know what you think Casper will do. Please like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'd really do appreciate it. And share the video with your friends, and I'll catch you later, guys. Enjoy.